We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Yes, we're live. Well, we're not really live. We're gonna just jump right into it. Hey, man, Diddy, at it again, man. It doesn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop with Diddy, man. He's again in the news because he's been hit over the head with another case. This man doesn't know how to stop, or at least his accusers don't know how to stop, and they won't stop. We've been talking about this for a while now, RJ, and we predicted where this was going.
Yeah, as you said, and it's not live. We're not live, but we're alive. Hopefully, when this air, and Diddy is being Diddy, and it's not like Diddy. The damage is already done, so now everything is just catching up to him, and it just seems like there's a lot. Of course, these are all claims. We are gonna go through the claims, see, and give our takes. And of course, guys, we want you to tell us what you think as well. Whether you think the claims are valid and that there are sufficient grounds, and whether you think they're believable or not. But before that, thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like for the algorithm, and check out our socials, our other socials. But yeah, Diddy is basically dealing, or at least his law team, his lawyers, his new team of lawyers, I have to say, because the previous one dropped them. But they have their hands full, safe to say.
They have their hands full, yes, because another case has popped up and another accuser, screen star, as I call her, screen star Adria English. Don't Google, guys, don't Google. Who says her stage name was Monique. Why do they have these crazy names? Accuses Diddy of trafficking her, claims she was hired to have intercourse with people at his party. Another woman has come forward claiming Sean Diddy Combs groomed her into trafficking. In a lawsuit obtained by TMZ on Wednesday, Adria English claims she first met the disgraced rapper in 2004 after her then boyfriend auditioned for a Sean John modeling gig. I guess she thought she could do better. English claims her partner and another model were asked to perform. Wait a second. What the heck? Oh my God.
But these are allegations.
These are allegations. But just to be clear, I didn't read this before.
That's obvious from your reaction.
I didn't. I'm like, what the heck?
You want me to read it?
If you want to read it,
because it's gonna be a slippery slope. So English.
Oh, you read it? Okay.
Continue. No, I didn't. But I read for a living. So I am literate. English claims her partner and another model were asked to perform verbal services on Combs in order to get. Yo.
So that's why it's better for you to read. Then I can get ad libs.
Yeah. No pun intended, probably. Nah, man. Yo. So asked to perform Haktua on Combs in order to get a job, which they allegedly refused. Despite their alleged refusal, English claimed her partner was given a second chance if she agreed to work as a go-go dancer at Diddy's white party in the Hamptons that year. English allegedly began working Combs' parties on a more regular basis, where she was allegedly expected to flirt with guests and drink alcoholic beverages laced with narcotics like X. While she allegedly didn't have intercourse with guests at first, she claims that changed after Combs allegedly demanded she sleeps with the jeweler. Oh no, say it ain't so.
Jacob!
You don't need to know the last name. We're gonna skip because everyone knows who we're talking about.
We know who Jacob is. Kanye knows who Jacob is. I'm not gonna press it. You don't have to worry about that.
Who's also listed as a defendant in the suit after allegedly having forced intimacy with Jacob. She claims Combs congratulated her and paid her an additional 1,000. However, English alleged that it wasn't a one-time gig, claiming the "I'll be missing you" rapper expected her to be passed off to other people. Puff puff pass. She claimed to have been assaulted by several other people who she did not name. English is also suing Tamiko Thomas, a woman. Tamiko Thomas, a woman she claims facilitated the music producer's alleged trafficking operations. She likened Thomas to that was the first name that came to mind. She likened Thomas to Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the first person when I started reading that part about Tamiko Thomas, I was like, oh, this sounds like a Maxwell. Yeah, it is.
Put
Uh,
respect on her name. Haktu. The original Haktu.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god. English claims she worked for Combs under the impression that he would help advance her career in music. However, she alleged that he used her career aspirations against her with threats to blackball her from the industry. Although she stopped working for the Bad Boy record exec after 5 years, English claimed he made good on his threats and ruined any chance she had in the music industry. English claims she suffered emotional trauma such as intimacy issues and painful memories as a result of the trafficking. She is seeking unspecified damages.
Sounds like he hired her for a reason. I'm not sure. She doesn't say she was getting paid every time, but it seems like she was getting paid for her troubles.
Yeah. Well, and the question is, you know what my issue is? I mean, and that's coming from a legal perspective, and I don't do criminal law, but the word grooming,
Yeah.
um, what
What does it
it's not
mean?
like theft is clear. Something was there, it's not there anymore, so it was stolen, for example.
Yeah.
Unaliving, the same thing. These things are objective, they can objectively be determined. But what
Yeah.
is grooming? And is grooming the same as convincing? If someone convinces you, is that grooming? You've been there for 5 years. Um, and at the end of the day, let's talk about self-defense. I always talk about it. People don't like it, but it is what it is. Self-defense, depending on what, and I'm talking about the not the states where you can just shoot someone and then ask questions later. I'm talking about usually when you defend yourself in a self-defense case, it needs to be defense.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, what plays a role are the options. Did you have any other? Did you have any other option? Could you have run away? Could you have hit one time instead of poking seven? So
Yep.
these are all factors that play a role, and based on that, you can determine whether or not there is self-defense. But if you're talking about grooming, is it the same as convincing? If you didn't want to do something and I tell you, well, you can get 1,000 for it, do you want to? And you say yes, and you
The
get
question
paid for it.
is that grooming. Yeah.
So
Or
yes,
are
yes,
you
that's the
being
question.
hired
Yeah,
as a
because
worker?
what I the feeling that I oftentimes get is that when they realize how deep
They're in. Yeah.
they're in, and maybe they're crying all the time, they're hurting inside. I do believe that the intimacy issue is a real thing. It's like a real consequence
Yeah.
that can come from that type of lifestyle. But my point is, when they look at that, then they go and look at the origin and say, hey, that person did this to me, that person did that to me. Yes, that person did convince you, but is that grooming, and isn't it your responsibility to a certain extent to not do so? So and then you get the discussion about ages, right, and the mind, because a 19-20-year-old person who wants is her mind is different than a 40-year-old person. It's more made, it's less developed, and so,
But
but it's
you
not
know, right
clear.
from
It's not like a clear line. That's what I want to say.
yeah. But let's be honest as well. I hate this topic, to be honest, where people put age in the, because as a kid from 15 years old, you know what right is and what wrong is. You know right from wrong.
Yeah, you
You
do,
know,
but you do.
a lot of times, one
Yeah.
thing I can say about younger people, that you know what right people you know what's right and what's wrong. It's the opportunism on that age that exceeds that right from wrong. Being able to
Yeah.
you see an
And
opportunity of making 1,000 and they just blur the lines at that moment, and then afterwards people start saying it's like it's like the kid who pop smoke. He was 16, he know what he did wrong. You cannot tell me that, you know, if you're gonna rob someone, you didn't know what could happen. That's
yeah,
impossible. Go lie to your mama, don't lie to me.
yeah. I understand what you're saying. Um, what I'm saying is the following, as it relates to age. The the when there's a hierarchy, and this even happens with grown, so adults, well,
Yep.
fully developed adults. Uh, when there is a hierarchy in an organization,
Yeah.
and your boss wants to your boss has certain power over you, and if your boss is an a-hole, or if your boss likes to power trip and abuses power, then it's gonna be difficult. So you know the abuse is going on, so you can do two things. You can either say, you know what, f off, I'm gonna go, or you're
Hmm.
gonna say, okay, I'm gonna adapt. I'm going to adapt. So try. Yeah. So these are the legal options indeed.
Oh,
So
I thought you were talking about alternative options. Okay, legal. My bad. My bad.
yeah, maybe
Don't do
that.
it, guys. Don't do it. It's not. I'm not saying you should do it. It was just a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, and for the listeners, people are just listening and not watching. The sound, KR was
They know
referring
what the
to,
sound is. They
KR
can
was
hear the
referring
sound.
to poking, not haktua. But the, yeah, I'm just
They
saying
know
it.
what that sound is.
Yeah, like a ninja.
Ninja. Yeah.
Um, ninja sound, like ninja sound differently. But anyway,
Ah,
the
man.
yeah, so the age does make it, the hierarchy does make a difference.
Yeah, that
uh,
is that.
and when you're older, let's say you're 40 years old, you are more developed, you can put your boundaries clearer, you know, for example, hey, this person can do this, but the person can do that, and if the person does this, I'm going to send an email to protect myself. So there are, you think you have the ability to think
They
differently.
do
When
it
you're
to
like 19, you
experience.
don't have that, you don't have that way of thinking. So you might know something is wrong, you might know your boss is an a-hole, but then your boss says, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. um and it's not going to go from one thing good to one thing not good, but it's just like gradually. There's a place, there's a rumor of a place here, it's like a jeweler store, a jewelry, not Jacob. Just need to get that out there. But when where at the end of the day, all the ladies need to give the, so all the workers are women.
Manager.
Yeah, the manager, the owner, haktua before they go.
Jesus.
So that's like an abuse. And who works there? People who are undocumented, people who won't get jobs. So it's like, you know, and of course, bullies know how to
Yeah,
pick
yeah, yeah,
out
yeah.
the victim. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
if you're
usually
weak minded,
do.
yeah. Mhm.
Unless it's Drake, he ran into a wall that called him a PDF file. Um, and that's the worst wall you can run against. Hey, life can be sometimes can take different turns. Anyway, so yeah, I do. I mean, I do understand what you're saying. People who are older catch that manipulation tactic or strategies much
Yeah.
faster. The gradual thing is something that could be here in place as well. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm curious how this is gonna be discussed in this in this court, because of course, um this is the thing, right? He was, I would guess, there are no records of him paying her, or a ledger, uh, of him paying the workers he hired for situations like that. Or maybe he has a ledger. Who knows? Who knows what he has? But it's a crazy situation. And I don't know how they're gonna tackle this, because I think the defense that Diddy will use in this case is that he was paying her for um for her working with people the way she does. She's been describing what she did, and that she's a disgruntled ex-worker, and I'll try to this is where this is going, probably, I would guess. But yeah, I mean, another case, this guy doesn't stop. It keeps coming.
Can't stop,
The
won't stop.
can't stop, won't stop, man. It's crazy. It's crazy if you think about it. And I mean, he has to pay lawyers. And since he doesn't have all these high level endorsements anymore, I don't think even a workers' council, and I'm talking about the type of workers you hire for special curriculum
Activity.
activities, not even they would hire him to be the face of the business.
No.
So he's not
Singular nor
making money.
plural.
Again,
Singular nor plural.
yeah. So he's not making money, and I think we also predicted this months ago, and we basically said that he has to start selling assets to get some cash, because I mean, having these many cases, you'll be burning through cash in lawyer fees. So it was revealed earlier, well, late last week, that Diddy has set his LA home, apparently the home that was raided by the Popo, well, not the Popo, the FBI. This home has been put on the market for $70 million. So for those who have some spare change, you can grab maybe this for the low low. He bought it in 2014 for 40 million. So I don't know how much he's left with after selling it, because I heard LA is very heavy on the tax for selling homes. So, but one thing for sure, that means that he's starting to sell off assets to have some money for to fight these cases, because there's no other way to explain this situation. The money is getting burned quick, and this is the problem with usually with stars. They have set up their lives in a certain way where they need to make the money they are making. Otherwise, it's a fast burn through the money.
Yeah.
And if you don't adjust quickly when crisis hits, I think it happened also to Kevin Spacey. He went bankrupt
Yeah.
quite quickly because he couldn't get any jobs.
But yeah, I think that's what I mean. As an attorney, I have the privilege to to talk to different kinds of clients and different kinds of industry, and I learn a lot. And basically, what happens, especially big companies, they do it as soon as there's like as soon as there is a they see bad weather on the horizon, they start making adjustments because they say, okay, whoops, they need to be more liquid. They need to be more liquid, so they start selling things. They just want to have more cash. And there comes a point in time where people will get laid off, and it's all because, not because they have to do it because they're in trouble. No, they do it so that if the problem comes, they've already prepared for it. So it's like a different mindset. So you would think that that's what's going on here. That is not, I don't think, because I don't think that in this short period of time all his money is gone, but I think it's more like his financial advisors telling him, okay, Diddy, we need to get more liquid because the legal fees are going through the roof, and we need to start moving now, because or else we'll have problems. It's going to be more difficult to sell a house in a year, so best start
Yeah.
now to look at alternatives and see what deal you can get.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's watching Double Thought, and he
Maybe.
thought these guys make sense. I need to start selling. Not that we give financial advice. We're not here to give financial advice, but I think yeah, usually corporates see the walls from a mile away, and you start adjusting. That's how you should work at all times. It happens. That's something people should implement in their private lives as well. As you see, usually people should be cash poor. It's called, and you should have assets. And you see that the situation arises where you need more cash, you can sell those assets to get more cash. And those assets are definitely not Armani and Dior bags, because if you've watched our show of yesterday, you would have seen that those are being made for $57 and being sold for 2,000. So I think those people might not want to buy it for you for 2,000 again.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you have assets, guys. Make sure you have assets. Is all I'll say. Hey man, let's continue with the usual. By the way, you have anything else to say about this topic?
Yeah, just one thing I have to say about this topic is that how many does he still have? Or I have a question: does he still have more houses, or
Yeah,
is that?
he has the one in New York. He has the one in Miami where his kids are staying. So he has some assets. Maybe he has also some assets in four countries. I don't know. That's these are the ones I know of, the houses. But usually, celebrities have also houses in other countries. So that's something we can research and
Mm,
talk about it next week to see where he will have to sell assets. One
okay.
thing, one thing always it surprises me as well, right? The first thing I expected him to start firing people much faster than he did when this all happened. So I would have thought, I would have thought um, he would start firing people as soon as the raid happened, because the problem with these situations is you have to act fast. You need to start cutting off the bleeding, because the cash spending is a bleeding of within. You have to do that, and I think that they are, maybe they've been doing it for a while now, and it wasn't in the open, but yeah.
All right. Well, who knows? I think that we're ready to go for the next topic, which is, of course, this is not the next topic, but the next segment.
Reddit segment. Hey man, RJ always has a great story for us to discuss. I mean, always a Reddit story, a conundrum someone might have, a situation by maybe they are the asshole or someone else is the asshole. let's take a look at let's listen to what RJ has this week.
Same, yes. And before we do, guys, remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button as well. And don't forget to check us out on our other socials. So, in today's show, I'm going to talk about a story I found on Reddit about the couple who doesn't want a vacation with newly parents anymore. So, the story goes as follows. So, my best friend, was my best friend of 29, so female, since middle school, had a baby. So they're both the same age, female, both, they're both female, had a baby with her husband. It was an unplanned pregnancy, but they are very happy. We spent all fall celebrating their very rushed engagement, wedding, and baby shower. Because, of course, KR, you need to spend money. You need
Oh,
to
of
spend
course, of
money.
course, they don't want that kid to be born a bastard. But okay,
Oh, yeah. You know what the funny thing is? People spend money to get gifts. They spend instead of buying the gifts themselves, they spend more money on a party to get gifts of lesser value. But anyway, we spend
yeah,
all fall celebrating their very rushed engagement, wedding, and baby shower.
that's why you have to always ask cash only,
Yeah.
like my friends do. I don't want to press the button, but
Don't press the button. Don't
my
press the button.
friends are
Yeah,
of that.
it was very time consuming and expensive for us. But we were happy to celebrate with them, and we are so happy to see how happy this baby has made him. I was asked to be the godmother, and it was truly such an honor. Before the baby, the four of us would do everything together, Kia. We would
Hey,
spend
strangers. Or maybe I'm wrong.
we would spend at least 2 to 3 evenings a week with
Oh,
them having dinner, spending almost every weekend together. We would go on vacation to Europe and to the beach together. My partner and I are, however, child free by choice. We have
mm,
no interest in having children ever. We don't even want a dog because that's so much work and commitment. We
yeah.
love to travel and have adventures like scuba diving and mountain climbing. We on occasion like to take psychedelics, all stuff that is not exactly kid friendly. Now we're wanting to travel, but our friends can't understand why we aren't inviting them to come with us. They mention how easy it is to travel with a baby and their dog, and they insist we can still do the fun things like swimming at the beach. But the thing is, I don't want to be stuck hearing a baby scream and cry every night. It's fine going over to their house to visit, but we can leave when we get too tired of it. And I don't want to be beholden to the needs of their child. They chose to have a kid, we didn't. Finally, they love to mention how great we'd be as parents and how they just want their kid to have other kids to play with. It's so annoying and frankly disrespectful and makes me not want to be around them. I don't want to push them away, and I love how happy they are, but it's too much. We are both afraid we will say something that will insult them, or make them think we don't want to be around them because of their child. It's not the baby that's the problem. I actually like snuggling and playing with the kid. It's their insistence that we are in this together and that nothing has changed. That is the problem. So, KR, do you think the what she's saying is in his place? Because she's saying, "Listen, I love you guys, but we just don't want a vacation with you anymore. We want to change the plans because you have a baby now, and we don't want to hear you crying, etc." What do you think?
I mean, she said it already. They made a conscious decision that they didn't want kids to avoid having these situations. So I understand what they're saying. I understand it. Well, everyone has their own choice, right? Um, I think this is why people create, let's say, some animosity towards each other because they don't communicate good enough. Could have just don't tell them like it's all good, it's your kid, but I don't want to I don't want to sit here every day and talk about kids and you guys trying to get us, convince us that we need to get pregnant or anything else. Just talk to them. Be transparent. Maybe it
But
will hurt them.
I think they're transparent already because, um, well, they're not transparent actually
They're
because
not.
they don't identify as parents. I think
Oh
that's
man.
that's not my joke, man. That was Andrew Schultz joke. I need to give a shout out to Andrew Schultz.
Nah,
But
but yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's the problem because the sense I get from reading the post is that they do say it, or maybe they're not clear enough. But I do think that they say it, they mention it, because they did say we
They
don't want
don't
to do it anymore, and the other couple was like, no, we can still do it, and so on and so forth.
just tell them
So
the
it's not
truth.
like it's not been discussed. It's more sounds more like the other couple doesn't want to accept it.
Maybe they don't want to accept it. Yes. Then you have to do what's best for everyone.
If it's gangrene, chop it off.
You find the sharpest blade you have. If it's not sharp enough, you sharpen it and clean cut. Whoosh.
I'll tell you like the harsh reality of it all, KR, and yeah, you can say it's harsh. It can be very harsh. Um, I didn't understand it the first time it happened to me. Like my first very good friend got in a relationship and then disappeared. I was
Mm.
like, whoa, person disappeared. And I was also in a relationship, but I wasn't. I was still doing everything uh, with my
Was
friends,
he
etc.
manipulated into disappear?
I don't know about that. All I know is that his priorities changed. And then when a kid came, it changed, and it bothered me a lot because I was like, I felt like betrayed. Betrayed. I was also very young, by the way, but I felt
Yeah.
like betrayed. And then when I got into like a more serious relationship, then I was like, okay, no, I get it now. You need to make time for your woman, and if it's only on Friday, if you can only go out on Friday, then you can go out on Friday with the boys, and then don't do anything. So I do understand it more and more, and but yeah, I do think that that's a reality. The reality is that once there's a kid, the dynamic changes, and
Dynamic changes.
what I also say is it makes sense if you're a couple with a kid to look
Find
for
other people with kids.
new
Just like,
friendships.
just like when you marry, you should find other people that are also married and be friends with them. Because single friends will keep you single, they say. That's
Single
what I've
people,
heard.
single, yeah, single,
Well, they say single women keep other women single, but okay.
single women keep
I
women
didn't want
single.
to say the women part, but now you got me into trouble. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Now they
yeah,
try to cancel me. Please, please,
yeah.
if you want to cancel, here, hack to me. No, just kidding. Wait, no. This is just a joke. It's just a joke. The crazy part is I close my eyes too. I just went like hack to me. Yo, this is crazy.
Yo.
I close my eyes. Hack
I
to
didn't see that. I didn't see that. Yo.
This is crazy, yo.
Oh
They
man.
should never given me a mic or a camera.
Yo. Oh my god, man.
I
No, but
close my eyes like a kid in a candy store. Mama, oh
you
man,
pee all the time.
sit down. No, but jokes aside, no, you have to find people that align with your new lifestyle. If you're a former, I'm gonna sound crazy again. If you are using enhancement pills for performance reasons, or pills or Betty Whites, you shouldn't be hanging with people with kids because that doesn't work. You have to find other bums and people who are shooting up to hang out with. You cannot hang out with people that are respectable. You have to find. Yeah, like I already once I said I would have said something crazy. You have to find your your new group to hang out with.
Yeah, you have to find your new group. I do
All,
agree with you.
I said it all to say a simple. I could have said it in one sentence, but
Yeah.
I had to make it.
What I want to say. So my take on that is at least to finish it. Sometimes it feels like they abandoned you, right? But that's not the
I don't
case.
know the feeling, but okay.
No, 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 no. I'm saying it's like
I've
they
never been.
abandoned.
I have never been abandoned by my dad. He went to get the milk and he came back. I cannot talk about for other people, but my dad came back. He put on his GPS and could find a way back home. But yeah, continue.
There's this crazy meme out there about a WNBA player or college player, female, and they ask her, "What's something weird about you that no one knows about?" And she said, I eat cereal with water." And then the voice said, "Because your dad never got home with the milk."
Milk. Oh my god. Yo.
It's a crazy
Yeah,
one.
the first yeah, that's the first thing that you think. The second thing is, damn, these ninjas were poor as shit.
Yeah, but so what I want to say about this is yeah, I was saying sometimes it feels like people are leaving you, but it's not that people are leaving you. It's just like you've reached a crossroad,
A crossroad.
and
People
and
are in your life for seasons.
yeah, and you
Sometimes
made a decision. You made a decision too, because basically you made a decision to go right by living a lifestyle without kids, free doing drugs and things like that. So you chose, okay, I'm going to be right, and maybe for a certain period of time they were also on that path, but then you guys came another crossroad, and they had a baby they didn't expect it. They welcomed it, and that's just a split. But for you, as being the one that's staying on the same path, or you're living the same lifestyle, it seems like they're abandoning you because things changed because they chose. No, you also made a decision not to have kids. So by doing that, I mean, you also
But
uh,
they
put a
did.
condition.
Yeah, you put a condition. That is
Yeah,
true.
no, but that's what I'm saying. So you're saying you're not gonna change. It's just like if you have two addicts and they both go to a rehab center. They get rehabilitated, they get out. One person decides to go back in the streets to New Amsterdam. The other person says, "You know what? I'm going to stay clean.
The wire.
I'm going to do something else, something positive." I mean, that's a choice you make. They both got in, they were both addicted, they got out. One chose to keep living the same life. That's a choice. The other chose to live differently. Now, the one that chose to live differently is often seen as referred to as the one that changed.
The
But change
traitor.
isn't a bad thing, and it's like a choice. But you also made a choice to stay where you are.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. And I think it's just something that needs to be communicated. And I do agree with you. If they don't understand it, then it's just, you don't need to break it off in a discussion, but like just
You
slow.
hang out less. You hang out less because there's not much commonality anymore in what their lives are and what you do.
Yeah.
To
Uh,
be
uh,
honest, you don't want to sit here. I'm not saying that you don't want to sit there I understand what they're saying. They made a conscious decision saying we don't want to hear kids crying in our ears the whole day. It doesn't make any sense that you say, I'm not going to do it for myself. And then you go every day to a friend's house and listen to a kid crying.
yeah. So if a listener look at it, someone is saying swimming at the beach isn't, so their remarks, right? Because they said, yeah, we can still go together and go swimming at the
Mhm.
beach. And one of the comments is swimming at the beach isn't the same as scuba diving. You go on a trip with your baby and dog, they will expect you to do dog kid friendly activities. Consider going to a town within a few hours with them for a weekend and see how they behave. That's a very good one. They're going to want you to help with your godchild and dog. Set your boundaries, have separate rooms, not a joint Airbnb. You then do all the activities the two of you want and let them sit by the pool with their baby. Sleep in and stay out late since you can. I think that's a very good idea. Instead of doing one big thing, let's say, okay, let's go 2 days, let's just go 2 days
Good.
somewhere and then see, because I guarantee, and it's not something bad, KR. When people have kids, their life revolves around their kid. The kid
Yeah.
is crying. You know how I had to get accustomed to it, because a friend of mine invites me every time to go. So when I'm abroad, uh so we say, let's go eat somewhere. Let's go there because there's a playground there.
Mhm.
So I think, okay, a playground. So the kid will be playing on the playground. But of course, it doesn't work like that. The kid always comes back, talks, sometimes comes crying, and the person. I mean, as a parent, you're always looking, you're always vigilant. So you can't have a calm conversation with the kid there, and that's fully understandable. I
Yeah.
think that the newly parents don't understand that, and they are maybe afraid of losing the
A
friendship.
friendship. Yeah.
But it's not fair of them either to expect the two to just be there. So
Like if nothing happened.
yeah, it's not fair to anybody. So I don't think there's a problem here. It's just like
It's not a problem.
you need to
It's
just
nothing.
yeah, it's just the next level. He
No.
graduated from
Why they try to pull Tia in
what
with this?
was
Pull
it, Tia?
Tia
Who said it?
You graduated, fully graduated
From marriage.
from marriage, and now I'm divorced.
Yeah,
That's a wild statement, bro. I graduated from the marriage and now I'm divorced. Hey, people are down bad out here, man. I heard on the streets, word on the streets says she's been yeah, well, she graduated, but she can't find a job now. So
that
hey,
was the crazy
sometimes
one,
sometimes
right? Yeah,
sometimes the grass is greener where you are
yeah, just
and
stay
not
there.
out there in the
Yeah,
streets.
yeah.
Anyway, let's continue with the next topic for today, man. The second topic for today is a topic we discussed last week, man. It's about that London guard
London guard.
that was getting her cheeks blasted by a cell an inmate. The man was going
Uh,
home. Well, he was in a cell and trying to reach home.
yeah.
Anyway, a woman is to appear. Well, apparently, because we discussed it real short. So what happened in London? There was this woman, Linda de Souza Abreu, who was from London.
Portuguese last name.
Yeah, she is from Portuguese descent, and she was a prison guard for one of um, the jails in the great city of London. And what happened was that she was being recorded by another cellmate of the guy who was basically clapping her cheeks, and without any shame she was getting her face in there in the recording, and they were switching positions and it looked crazy. But yeah, then the video, I don't understand why someone would record it first of all and then release it. You're blowing your spot, boy. But I guess that's why they're locked up because their IQ is a couple of points below the threshold of an ape. But yes. I mean, RJ, let's be honest before we continue about this topic. Why would someone record it? You're having a good time. You're locked up. You've been giving yourself, no, not you, but as the inmate. The inmate has been having a party with the hands next door, it's called. And now you get some cheeks free. You record it and blow your own spot. Doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And um,
Cheeks are hard to get by. Wow, they but maybe I shouldn't say that because cheeks aren't hard to get by in the cell. The right cheeks are hard to get by. The women cheeks are hard to get by. It's
yeah,
not they're not freely walking freely along in the cells.
no. It's great. And I mean, there's been stories about because this happened in London, but there's been stories about, or at least one story, somewhere in the south, I
Here.
believe, where a guy impregnated five of the officers there. Like it was crazy. Clapidemics, I think, is what they called them.
Epidemics.
But
Yeah, that's crazy. There's a clapidemic in this jail. It's a clapidemic.
it's a clapidemic.
Hey, we
But
need to. Hey, can we trademark that one?
I don't know. Man. I know. We got so much more. It doesn't matter. Man. We just,
We got stocks. So many other stocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus
Clap.
16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus clap. I think that.
Oh, yeah. These jokes keep telling. They just keep coming up.
Clapidemics,
2, 3
no,
plus,
man.
plus clap.
Oh
Oh,
man,
man.
no, but I think that I mean, you're not supposed to do that. It's clearly, I mean, except for the fact that it's embarrassing, you can't, you know how you're putting your life in danger, you're putting the life of your colleagues in danger.
Yeah.
Uh, it's, I think,
These guys are locked up for a reason.
yeah. And yeah, so I think it's the bad boy. I mean, if you're into bad boys,
Enough choice.
jail is the place to work.
Yo, this culture is degenerate, my man.
Ah,
These people have been promoting gangsters forever, and now these women can't just enter a job where they can just meet a bad boy like it's nothing.
yeah, they probably ignore their colleagues as well, right?
This
Because
is
their colleagues, who are they? They can provide for me. They can't do anything for me.
yeah, the guy locked up who can go nowhere, who has a who has to trade his noodles for other stuff to get he can provide for life.
No, man, it's. I think it's very irresponsible what you did. I
Yeah.
really wonder how it's possible because there are more stories about well, it's proximity, I guess, men, women,
Yeah.
and oftentimes, you know what also plays a role here.
The stress
Oftentimes,
of
people,
the job.
not stress, but people forget one thing: the type of people. So you have the type of people, right?
Mhm.
And
They are locked up or
no, in general, people are attracted to similar people.
yeah.
So you might have two households. Both households are ratchet, for example. Both households are ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
They have kids,
Yeah.
one in each household. One of them makes a choice at a certain point in his life to go do something illegal. So to enter into the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other one isn't like a Harvard student, etc., but is a very disciplined person, and decides, no, I'm not gonna go in the game, I'm just gonna stay clean, and you know what, I'm gonna become a cop, or I'm gonna become a correctional officer. But the household they grew up in is the same type of values, the same type of ratchetness. It's like that's what they know. This is a guy supposed to do this, a woman supposed to do that. So it's the same thing. So when these two people meet each other in prison, they might have a different uniform on, the one with the correctional officer's uniform, the other one with the inmate uniform, but the mindset is the same.
Yep, that is true.
And so they connect because that's what they're used to. That's
Trauma
part of
bonding.
it. Yeah, and well, yeah, whether it's trauma bonding, but it can also be like that's what they know. So if you're like a witty person, you like to talk to other witty people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
witty, and so if you're ratchet, then of course, and if you're horny, of course, you're gonna click with people who are the same as you. And so that's why it's shocking when you hear it, because it's like, hey, but you are an inmate and you are a prisoner. But oftentimes their reading level is the same, their way of thinking is the same, their philosophy is the same, other than one person saying, okay, I'm going to do it the right way, the other person saying, I'm going to do it the illegal way. So there are small differences, but in general it's like the same type of people, and they are attracted to each other, and that's what happens. So it's not like, I don't think it really takes so much convincing as much as it is just like, hey, talking to you, come on,
Look at
sweetheart.
these guys as well. They are master manipulators, or some of them. Some of them can think out of some of them can count till to 10, but others are master manipulators. I think there is a story of an American prison guard, female as well. I think last year, where they escaped and they got into a shootout, and she passed away, and the guy still survived. So, and he went back into jail,
Yeah.
and she broke him out. So, um,
Yeah.
and she's like a pudgy woman, and he's a tall guy. It's crazy if you think about it. She passed away in this process because of what she believed was love, and he's still here doing time again. Yeah, sometimes people make bad choices, and choices that can result into deletion of you. It's
Hmm.
crazy. It's crazy. But let's get back into this claparation of cheeks that is happening in the London cells, because people have been adding that they want also the personal guard, but the London uh, judicial system has said they're not getting it because in London, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah. So she's been charged now. Uh, in the let me go to this. She has been charged. They say the following: a woman has been charged over the social media video alleged showing a member of the prison staff having intercourse with an inmate in a jail cell. And she's 30, by the way. So that's crazy. The Met added it began its investigation on Friday after officers were made aware of a video alleged filmed inside of HMP Wandsworth. Miss De Souza Abreu is due to appear in custody of Uxbridge Magistrates Court on Monday. In May, an urgent notification about the conditions at HMP Wandsworth was issued by the Chief Inspector of Prisons, Charlie Taylor. It came what? It
No,
came
the way you pronounced it.
Charlie.
Charlie. Charlie
Charlie
Taylor.
Taylor. It came after inspectors found Wandsworth was stricken with severe overcrowding, vermin, and rising violence amongst inmates. Well, you might be right on the fact that she put her own colleagues in danger because of the rising violence. Maybe she could have been kidnapped. And then these guys try to save her, not knowing that she's being kept by kidnapped by the person who's giving her claparations on the free time. Well, he has all the free time. So, hey man, let's see how this works out. It's not a good thing that what she did. I mean, word on the street is she's been partaking in a swingers lifestyle. She's been part of TV shows so far, and even her sister said that she told her not to bring her personal life into her daily job because it could go wrong.
Yeah.
The question I have now, RJ, was the collaboration worth it? Or and is she's going if she's going to get, let's say, a year or so, is she going into the OnlyFans draft after this one? Is that the
I think
only is this is a stepping stone towards being a millionaire?
I think this is the time to launch her OnlyFans. I
Well,
mean, she's
she's
already,
locked up now, so that's gonna be hard, but
but I mean, the timing wise, this would be it. And if she can do it in jail, that would be great.
yo,
if
I've
she,
been
if she,
I wanted to say something, but since you started talking about this, the question is, so have you seen these videos out there where the inmates are presenting themselves for pen mates, pen
no,
pals?
no.
So there are these prisons where female can record a video and they say, "Hey, my name is this and this, and I want to pay a pen pal. You can send a letter to me, this and this and this." I was thinking like, okay, they're asking now for pen pals. How long will it take before the government says you can start your own OnlyFans as long as you cut a piece to us into the cell, so you can make money, OnlyFans money in the cell, and the war are getting a piece of the action.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me the way the world is going. So we might see, what's her name again? Linda doing some OnlyFans action from her cell.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there are a lot of illegal phones in prisons oftentimes. So, um,
How do they get in actually? Do anyone ask themselves?
well, so there are different types of
Do
prisons
they
based
smell it
on,
before they put that on against their ears?
you know what I heard? There are certain places. So it depends on the security level of the prison. But
Mm.
all prisons are up to date. So you know how some things get transferred? Drones.
I've heard of those. Yes, I've heard
Just
of those.
drones. Like nothing more, nothing. It's just like drones. The drone, and it's people aren't. They're not accustomed to it, or at least the prisons are not adjust. They haven't adapted the prison to detect and combat it.
Yeah, because I've heard about situations where they are dropping drugs in the
Yeah. That
courtyard.
being that being said, no matter where I buy a phone or get a phone, I never smell it.
Well, if you're if you're in jail, I suggest not you, but if someone is in jail and you're reading it, make sure you smell it before, because chances are it's not been traveling by drone. It's been traveling by cheeks. And
Oh man.
um,
Oh man.
anyway, hey, let's close this show out, man.
Let's close
Uh,
it.
anything else to say?
No, we're good, man. It's after there's nothing else I can say.
That's oh
Um,
man. Hey, let's close the show out with with the typical with a typical shirt. Where we discuss trending topics and also commonplace situations. Real short and concise. Hey
Gonna-
man, let's take a look at the first topic for today.
Guys, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well.
Yeah, man. Hey, the last week we talked about proposals in your Reddit story, where people are saying making a joke of the proposal is not, well, she didn't like it because she thought it's a serious situation. I guess other people think totally different because, well, maybe it's better for me to show you. I'll
That's a cry, man. Oh man, such an ass.
I need to cut it off sometime because otherwise we're gonna get hit by a copyright. But she's still crying, as you can see. But she accepts. Love prevails. Even if your boyfriend or your fiance is a piece of shit with his friends. I mean, this is a crazy proposal. This is a crazy proposal. And it continues. She's still crying.
Just really
friend-
crying.
Yeah, I mean, imagine getting, I mean, she thought for a second that they were getting abducted, kidnapped. Imagine people suddenly hitting your car window and going crazy.
And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure she didn't say yes just to not get abducted. You know, it's like I don't know if this is a joke, but just to be sure, let me just say yes to this guy. Get to a safe place, then
Hey, it's
dump it there.
crazy. Look,
Uh,
and he's
But
happy.
yeah,
He's giving his friends the thumbs up. Look at
but
him here.
yeah,
She's still in shock.
but
Hey,
that's a
it worked,
shock.
guys. It
It's,
worked, guys. It worked.
and that, kids, is how you get out of the friend zone.
Yo. Well, this is, I do not approve this message.
I do not approve this message. Uh, yo,
Yo,
oh man, I'm telling you, man, there are some really
I've heard other ways to get out of the friend zone, but yeah,
weird
this is
people,
not
weird people doing this, man. Weird
cloud
people.
chasing, man. Cloud chasing because they knew would go viral. You should.
Weird.
I mean, there are levels, right? I mean,
Mm,
making a small joke when you proposing, that's okay, but this is, I think majority of the women would have reconsidered the relationship
yeah.
at this point because if this
Yeah, I
is
don't know.
love,
I don't know. I think a woman's dream is to get married, so it's a proposal still. Uh, I tell you.
yo, dude. Yo. I guess you might be right. People's dreams. You might be right, RJ.
It's like
Maybe,
that's it, right? It's
maybe we
about
should
getting
start.
married. It's about getting
Maybe
married.
we should start a company that provides these kind of services. If you want to abduct, kidnap your
No. Yo, stop it. Stop it. Stop talking. Stop talking.
if you want to get
Yo,
so
yo,
so
yo.
I have another one.
Okay,
What about this situation? You're in bed with a hired actress, and then she sees you both, pulls down the cover, the bed cover, sees her fully dressed, and you with, let's say, a suit, and then you propose to her. That's maybe a good situation. Or a situation where someone can get deleted.
telling you, if she was packed, oh man, if she was
Don't
carrying,
do that
if
in
she
the
was,
text. No,
she was
don't
in,
do
she was in front of the dashboard as well, man.
that. Bro, yo, lucky that I think it sounds like they're in Eastern Europe. So, well, people are packing in Eastern Europe as well. But yeah, that's the. Do you have any further things you want to discuss here?
Any what?
Any things you want to discuss
No,
or
no, I'm
closing
good.
out?
I think that's good.
Wishing all of them a happy life together with a lot of jokes and kidnap situations or jokes, whatever. Let's go to the next one and final for today. Is this good advice or is he sending people to get a tune up? Let's hear what he has to say.
Street, if you don't want to go to jail because you don't got no ID on you, you
Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Shout out to these guys and their podcast.
literally can beat it. All you have to do is just refer to Colander versus Lawson. When it was
Colander
determined in the
versus
Supreme-
Lawson.
Yeah, it was determined in the Supreme Court that no person can be detained for failure to present identification.
Nice.
There it is.
Joe's up here
Yeah,
barring out.
dropping
Look,
jewels.
Oh,
you know
yeah, I
what
was
I
a
mean?
law. When you're walking down the street, if you don't want to go to jail because you don't got no ID on you, you literally can beat it. All you have to do is just refer to Colander versus Lawson. When it was
Colander
determined in the
versus
Supreme-
Lawson.
Yeah, it was determined in the Supreme Court that no person can be detained for failure to present identification.
Nice.
There it is.
I have a feeling someone's about to get beat up. I have a strong feeling if you say, what did he say? Cola versus Lawson. As soon as you say that, ah,
Okay, as soon as the cops, as soon as the cops,
cops can't read. Now, what are we talking about?
as soon as the cops
Ah,
get an idea of where you're taking it, they're not gonna let you finish that citation. You know that, right? You're gonna get tased before you can. You're gonna get tased at cola. That's where you're gonna. You're not even gonna get a chance. You're not even gonna get a chance to say the verses. You'll be shaking. You'll be shaking.
bro, what are we giving people? He's probably right. That's the thing. He's probably right, but I think we've talked about this in previous show, and of course, you're the from us to you're the lawyer, so maybe you can expand on that. But you once said in a previous show we had that it's better to just communicate on the level of. No, you didn't say it verbatim. Basically, the cops are there to arrest. They're not there to discuss the situation or how did you say it? They're not there to. They are enforcers, basically. They're not there to investigate and further go deeper into the situation, right? Something like that.
So it depends on the capacity and the situation. I don't recall exactly what I said, or at least in which context I said it, but the cops have a job, and the cops are
You
trying to do
said
their.
when this guy was getting beat up by
They're trying to do their job, and if their job is to see if people are wearing seatbelt, for example, then that's the job. If the job is to see if people are adhering to traffic regulation, then that's the job. If the job is to invade a home and investigate, see if there's like illegal drugs or firearms, etc., that's a job, and the cops are there to do their jobs. Now, not all cops are aware of all the regulations and the rules. And so you when you start when you start citing things, they're gonna I mean, some cops will probably say, yeah, okay, that's true. Other cops will might take it personally and start harassing you, and others might say, hey, you are um, not cooperating, so you're under arrest. What for? How many videos did we see, KR? What
Yeah,
for?
that's how it starts. That's how it starts. They it's a bait, guys. Don't do this. Don't
Get
do
your
this.
hands off me.
Don't
Get
do
your
this.
hands off
Don't
me.
do
What for?
as soon as they say you're getting arrested and you say what for, that's the bait.
Yeah.
They try to throw you to start resisting arrest, and
Yeah.
then they can handcuff you.
Yeah.
And
Well, you need to be, they need to tell you why you're being arrested. So you can always ask what for. The thing is, how much are you gonna? It's better, like we always say, get to the station where there are, where at least there's supposed to be more cops that know,
the way
that know, and then
you
explain the
hope
situation, and then explain the situation. But if I mean, and you might be right, but if you start arguing with cops, then it can always go differently. It can always turn on badly. And one thing that people don't keep in mind, KR, and I'm not a criminal lawyer, but it's just like context is everything, right?
Mhm.
So if you're just walking and the cop walks up to you and says, "Give me your ID," that's different. But if there is an imminent threat, and the cops are instructed to secure the premise and see that everyone is standing at a safe distance. And now the cop tells you, "Hey, you need to go," and then you start siding. It's a different situation, right? So the cops might take like drastic measures because there's an imminent threat. And what people oftentimes forget is that the context matters. They just learn one thing, and that's always the danger about learning things like this. They think that they can apply it in all situations, and it doesn't work like that.
And before you know it, you become a meme.
Yeah. And for example, imagine if you start. It's people think they understand the law, but law is very complicated. I always compare it to this, KR. If you learn a new language and you only learn one word, and the word is yes. So someone will say, "Hey, do you want food?" Yes. You get food. Oh, yes, works. It works one time. Do you want something to drink? Yes, because it worked. But yes doesn't work in all instances. And if you say yes to the wrong thing, you might find yourself having to pay for a clapologist because someone did some clapping that you weren't really, that wasn't your intention to get clapped, but now you need to get over that
You
trauma.
didn't consent to that. Well, you did consent because you said yes.
You just didn't know what you were saying yes to.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P. to your cheeks. Oh
Um,
man.
okay. Guys, I think that's it. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's it for today, man. I,
All right.
I'll say this: it's be very careful how you use this stuff, because you might end up getting a tune up. I mean, these cops are out of their minds. It's better to just cooperate and just fight
Yes.
it at the station, like RJ said,
Yeah,
because people are
cooperate.
out here.
Yeah. Don't go. Yeah. And if the cops say something, I mean, as soon as things get violent, you can always file a claim afterwards, but you have to be alive to file a claim, you know?
Well, don't have to. Your family can file one, but you cannot enjoy that money.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's close the show, man.
That's what we call providing. Uh thank you.
They say they're looking for a provider. All these dating shows. Well,
Yeah, I know,
I'm not
man.
here anymore, but
Well, guys,
anyway.
thanks for tuning in. If you're still here with us, give it a put till the end in the chat so we know that you made it all the way to the end. Hey, we really appreciate your support. The channel is growing, we're getting more and more feedback, and we're also improving every day, so thanks for that. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Check us out on our other socials and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you stay up to date so you get notified when we drop new videos. It's been a pleasure. We'll see each other in the next one. And stay civil in the comments. Until next time. Peace.
Peace. Wishing you guys a lot of Lindas and
A
the
lot of
females, a lot of inmates.